Time. Cougars 6 and the Hawks 12. A key bit of information to remember here. The Hawks will receive second half kickoff. They won the toss and elected to defer. So the Cougars want to try and get a touchdown. Boy, now would be a great time. A minute and 1 second left to play in the first half. Coriel, right-footed attempt. We booted a line drive. This time Willis will field it and actually drop it at the 8.
The kickoff is knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Cougars take over with 90 yards to go.
You got to think, too, a big thing that Kindred will address not only at halftime, but surely next week at practice is the emphasis of special teams. More than a couple bobbles by Willis and by Rondon. You see how much easier it has been for the Hawks to drive down the field and get themselves in scoring opportunities and scoring situations versus the Cougars. The average starting field position, I don't have that stat on me. However, I would assume it is in big favor of the Hawks. Sweep left. Willis is the ball carrier, trying to cut back right, and he'll get out to about the 14-yard line. 52 seconds left and counting.
Off the left side by the Cougars.
And it looks like Kindred might just be punting, metaphorically, this half away. Unless he's maybe going to try to run 2 more plays. Remember, Coach Kindred has no timeouts. The only way to stop the clock would be a spike or to throw an incompletion. I formation. Willis, the running back. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Willis. Luckily, I believe that's Scroggins picking it up, and you wonder if, with 10 seconds left, if they're even going to get another playoff, maybe a Hail Mary opportunity, but with 6 seconds, 5, 4, and Kindred's just going to hold X Sandoval and run out the clock, and that will be the end of the first half. Going into halftime, score, your Phoenix Christian Cougars 6 and the visiting Tanque Verde Hawks 12. A lot of football left to play here on the campus of Phoenix Christian in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Halftime will be about 15 minutes. I'll take a quick break and be back with you after halftime. We'll try to figure out the technical difficulties. I do apologize for that. But with that being said, Cougars will look to bring it back down 6 in the second half. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Phoenix Christian football right here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube. Welcome back to the campus of Phoenix Christian here in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, off of Indian School Road. My name is Nicholas Pietrzycki, and I'm honored to be joined with you for this matchup between the Phoenix Christian Cougars and the Tanque Verde Hawks. A reminder, the Hawks won the opening coin toss and elected to defer until the second half, and they will now receive the second. And it looks like there will be a brief warm-up or something. I don't know what that would potentially be about. We'll see. Tanque Verde returners stretching on about the 15 and 10 yard lines. Coach Kindred will talk to his players and get a quick stretch in of their own. And it looks like Coach Kindred will use that full 3 minutes that was put up. Now it's trailing down 150 left. Quick recap of what happened in the second half. Scoring opened on a big run from Sebastian Blakeman that put the Hawks up 6-0. The Cougars then responded with a 36-yard strike from ex-Sandoval to Javian Willis, tied up at 6 apiece. Both extra points were missed. And then since then, it has been on the right foot of Nick Coryell with 2 field goals, one being 31, the other being, I believe, about 25. And those 2 field goals have been the difference maker here in Phoenix. Tanque Verde coming up from Tucson. A big road win to start the season if they can hold on. For the Cougars, an even bigger win to start the culture change that Coach Jason Kindred has been trying to implement here at PC. Back to return for the Hawks. Looks like it will be DeLon Harrison, the deepest man, with his heels at the 9. We'll call it 9.5. In front of him, Samuel Willis. And Grayson Bradshaw, the quarterback, I believe, out there on kickoff return. Not something you see, but again, you see a lot of versatility here on both the teams. Coryell, linebacker, kicking, and Bradshaw, the second deepest man in terms of field positioning for the Hawks. How about that? Your quarterback about to kick it off.
The Cougars will kick off to start the second half of play here.
It looks like it will be Louis Murphy for the kickoff duties. Also standing with him is Jerry Abrahamson. And it'll be a little bit of a squib kick. Ball's on the ground. Phoenix Christian recovers. A beautifully executed onside kick. Call it an ambush. Call it Sean Payton. The Cougars come out in the second half and get the onside kick. I think Coach Jason Kindred was up late last night watching Saints Super Bowl highlights with one of the most famous play calls in Super Bowl history, ambush, called by Sean Payton when the Saints played the Colts in the Super Bowl. Saints winning that game, large part due to that onside kick to start out the second half. And the Cougars gain a possession, Sandoval, and he'll fumble it and try to pitch it. Sandoval already down A botched snap
Second down and long for the Cougars.
for the Cougars. A loss of 2 brings the ball back to the Hawk 46-yard line on the left hash. And the ref will blow his whistle as, once again, the kicking tee was left on the field. Potentially dangerous. Checking into the game is Trayshawn Ransom. He'll split out far to the right. Rondon, the running back, in a traditional I. Sweep right. Ransom with some space, trying to cut in. Does so successfully. Ransom down all the way to the 35-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 36.
He cuts off the right side.
A gain of 10 on 2nd and 11.
Brings up third down and 1 for the Cougar
Make it
offense.
3rd, and we'll call it a long 2 for the Cougar offense. Rondon back in the game, the wing tee. Sweep goes left for Willis. Willis trying to cut upfield, can't.
Quick pitch on the left side
And
for
Eli
Cougar
Clausen absolutely sniffing out that play before Willis could get any forward momentum.
Gavin Gilbert. Small
4th
for the
and
Cougars.
3.
4th down and 3 for the Cougar offense. Being deep in the Hawks
4th
territory,
and
the Cougars
3.
elect to go for it on 4th down.
Kindred being aggressive, trying to go for it here. Sandoval in a traditional I. Rondon's the running back. Sandoval back to pass, looking for his man, and he had him open. It was Dominic Paris, and Paris couldn't get his head around. And boy, did Paris have a couple steps on the nearest Hawk. And that'll bring out the Tanque Valley Hawks offense. Grayson Bradshaw back out to lead.
7-yard line.
Looking to punch one in the end zone for the first time since their opening drive.
The Cougar defense has played
I like the aggressive
exceptionally
play
well
call
in this game
from
and looks to do so again here tonight to start
Coach
the
Kindred.
third
It's in
quarter.
that no man's land, especially in high school, where if it's 4th and short, take your chances and try to get some extra possessions. Offset I. Handoff goes to Gilbert. Gilbert sniffed out before he can get anywhere.
For the Cougar defense, Daniel Sanchez
Linesman will say he got about 2. Make it 2nd and 8 for the Hawks. 2nd and 8. Bradshaw gets the play and will jog in from the sideline. Cougar defensive line, since first quarter, has snuffed out Gavin Gilbert quite effectively. Offset I, and play is blown dead.
Flags fly, the play is blown down.
Luke Hawken sniffing that play. I don't know if he would have made the play, and it looks like it will be offside potentially on Hawking.
Still 2nd down.
Just got a little bit too excited about trying to tackle Gilbert.
With the penalty, the Hawks have 2nd down and 3. From their
And
own 44.
A 2nd and 8 quickly turns into a 2nd and 3. And the Cougar defense must remain stout once again. Nine minutes exactly left to play in the third quarter. Bradshaw breaks the huddle. Offset I, McKenna offset to the left. Bradshaw motions McKenna from left to right. Handoff Gilbert on 2nd and 3. Gilbert, 45-50, out to the other 45. Still going Gilbert, ball on the ground. His elbow was already down, and a flag comes flying.
After the Hawks,
And it looks like might be a horse collar on the Cougar defense, or potentially maybe even a sideline warning. A couple coaches getting a little bit antsy, and excited there. We will await the call from Jim Chavez. And it will be a horse collar tackle on the Cougars. And that's a personal foul. Gilbert checks out of the game. In checks Harrison. And that'll aid the Hawks offense quite handsomely, as the Hawks and Cougars trying to figure out where the line of scrimmage is. Line of scrimmage looks like it'll be on the Cougar 28-yard line. A big penalty against the Cougars, and it looks like the Hawks might be driving here once again. Bradshaw single back, 3 receivers far side to the left. Bradshaw takes snap, play action. It'll be a screen to Harrison. Harrison trying to make a man miss. Out wide, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! DeLon Harrison takes the screen 28 yards to the Casa and will extend the Hawks lead 18-6. Point after is coming. You do wonder, though, a 12-point game. You do the math. A 12-point game and a 13-point game, there is a little bit of a difference, but you wonder. The Hawks will go for 2. They will not. They will send out Coryell and the kicking unit.
On to kick for Tanque Verde.
Coryell missed his first PAT attempt since then. He's 2 for 2 on field goal. Snap back, holds good. Kick is up, and that one is good. Score, York Phoenix Christian Cougars 6 and the Tanque Verde Hawks 19. Cougars have some soul searching to do, down 13, 8:31 left to play here in the third quarter. Still a lot of football left to be played, but you gotta wonder, when will the Phoenix Christian offense that we saw against Valley Lutheran in the scrimmage come out? Cougars played Valley Lutheran in a scrimmage and actually shut out VL. They did not score in that scrimmage. Phoenix Christian, however, scoring handsomely. My memory does serve me correct. I don't have the exact stat down. I believe they scored about 6 or 7 times. Do the math and times it by 7.
Return specialists, Willis,
but it will be Willis and Rondon back to receive. And you got to wonder if Coach Kindred had thought and talked to his returners about maybe playing a little bit deeper, with the right leg of Coryell being quite powerful than even I expected. Coryell run up from the 30, kicks it at the 40. Willis once again over his head, and that one will actually go out of bounds, and it'll work in the favor of the Cougars.
The penalty on the Hawks kickoff team.
Willis wise to let that one roll behind him. The last couple ones, not so good of a decision. Ball will be spotted
After the penalty,
at the Cougar 35-yard line.
35-yard line.
Cougars looking for an answer offensively. Only touchdown coming off the arm of ex-Sandoval.
To lead the Cougars down the field for their next Cougar score.
Ball will be placed on the right hash on the Cougar 35. Traditional I formation. Scroggins split out wide to the left. Sandoval sweep left for Willis. Clausen trying to make a play and almost does. Tackle by Gilbert. Clausen trying to throw blockers into Scroggins. Excuse me, into Willis. There is a flag thrown by the back judge. You almost wonder if, and it'll be against the Cougars. I'm unaware of what the penalty is. I'm not familiar with that formation, or excuse me, that signal. It didn't look like a hold or a personal fouler. And it looks like they will redo the play, making it 1st and 10. Looks like it was maybe an interesting call. Maybe they waived it, or no, they won't. They will bring the ball back all the way to the 22-yard line. Very interesting situation we have going on here. Of course, the Cougar offense likes to go quick and run it down the defense's neck, giving the Hawk defense a little bit of breathing room, and the ball will be spotted at the 20 after the ball is brought out all the way to the 35. It's all the way back to the 20. Sandoval in the shotgun. 2 running backs who's left and right. Handoff goes and going nowhere, and another flag is thrown. Looks like Israel Torres was the ball carrier. Israel Torres, listed more of a tight end on the roster. You wonder how many bumps and nicks will go against the Cougars and how much more they have to iron out the rest of this season. Penalty is declined. Ball will stay at the spot where Torres was tackled. Ball be on the 17-yard line. Cougars needing to get all the way to their own 45 for a first down here. 2nd and a mile to go. Sandoval in the shotgun. And another flag. It looks like it will be a false start on the Cougars. Aiden Flynn, the guilty culprit of jumping. And, well, another penalty, and that'll bring the line of scrimmage all the way back. We'll call it the 13. If that was a mile, well, now they got about 2 miles to go to pick up the first down. Cougars needing to get to the 45. Sandoval will take it himself on the naked sweep and gets sniffed out immediately.
He's dropped in the backfield for a loss.
Making and sniffing out the play there is Gavin Gilbert, and Sandoval is down and slow to get up. Not what you want to see, especially after this drive from the Cougars. Sandoval up and jogging back to the sidelines. Ransom and Rondon checking out of the game. Scroggins and Willis in the game at running back. Kinder trying to keep his coaches fresh. Wing T. Play action pass. Sandoval is sacked back at the 3-yard line. Making the play is Michael McKenna. And a drive that started out on their own 35 is now looking to end on their own 3-yard line. And it looks like the Cougars will be forced to punt. Punting from inside his own end zone is Daniel Sanchez. Left-footed punter will be punted high up in there. That punt is not going far. Ball bounce at the 15 and be downed at the 18. And the Hawks start inside the red zone. 5:49 left to play here in the third quarter. Cougars trailing the Hawks 6-19. And I think it's time for a drive that started so well and now is stalling and then ended at the 3. You're looking at the glass half full here. It could always be worse for the Cougar defense. They could be on the 3-yard line. But the Hawks in the red zone once again. Offset eye. Harrison motioning from right to left. Handoff goes to Gilbert. Gilbert bursting forward and will be tackled at the 10-yard line. But a flag immediately, and it's an illegal shift. Goes against the Hawks a lot.
By the Cougars, Achilles Lopez. Flag flies on the field.
For those of you just joining us,
Appears to go against the Tanque Verde Hawks.
you see the dominant color between these two games is clearly green. Dominant color now is becoming yellow. A lot of penalties so far here in the second half.
First down and long for the Hawks.
First down and 15 for the Hawks. Gilbert, the running back, in an offset eye. Harrison split out far to the right. Handoff goes to Harrison. Tackled by Michael Harmon, the junior, sniffing out that play. Harmon had a great scrimmage against Valley Lutheran. I was watching the game, or the scrimmage rather, on film, and his number and his position was the first one I wrote down. So this linebacker sniffing out plays left and right. Maybe he just needed a little bit of time to settle in, but it's the first time I've called Harmon's name all game. Or is it maybe a scheme choice by Bull now to run away from Harmon there at left outside linebacker? Offset eye once again. McKenna motions from left to right. Snap back, play action. In trouble is Bradshaw, and he goes down. No, he won't. He does get out of it. And down on the play is Israel Torres. His helmet came off, and he looks to be limping. Looks like his right foot, leg. I don't want to comment on an injury, but Israel Torres limps off.
Being attended to by the coaching staff looks to be
Give credit where credit is due. The Cougar defensive line has been absolutely outstanding today. Even though they are down 13, it hasn't been so much of a defense that can't stop them. It's a offense that can't score so far here for the Cougars. Only 6 points through about 2 and some more quarters. Third and 15 to go. 3 receivers, far side right. And it looks like the Hawks will get Hawking. Oh, and it will be a false start.
That will back the Hawks up even further, making it 3rd and 20.
Nope, it will actually be encroachment. Referee signaled for false start. And it looks like Jim Chavez is not happy.
The call was signaled against the Hawks, has been marked off against the Cougars. Referees will sort it out.
Jim Chavez is not very happy so far with umpire Alan Richardson, as the call, as Chavez called it, did go against the Hawks. It was false start on the Hawks, and then it was marked 5 yards in favor of the Hawks. So a lot of questions, as it looks like Chavez and his crew do reverse the call, and the call indeed is false start against the Hawks. A lot of confusion there. Call is false start against the Hawks. 3rd and 20 for the Hawks. Ball spotted on the left hash on the 29-yard line. The Hawks need to get to about, we'll call it the 8.5. 3 receivers split out wide to the right. Clausen in the slot. Gilbert, the running back. Bradshaw takes the snap. Play action. Another quick screen to Harrison. Harrison looking to get upfield. And a big hit by Flynn.
While the pass was complete, a big hit.
And you heard that one from up here in the press box.
Well short of the first down, but late flags come in on the play.
There are 3 flags on the field. Now you got to wonder what this call will be. And they're going to call unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hawks.
On the Tanque Verde Hawks. The very long
Maybe some un-Christian-like words were said, and Gilbert checks out of the game, and it looks like Coryell will be in to punt. He stands on his own 46-yard line. Willis back to return with 3:20 left to play here in the third quarter. Chavez tells McKenna he cannot substitute on. Instead coming in is John Felger to help shield Coryell of any danger. Snap back, Coryell will boot it from about midfield. Kick is low, and it takes a
back deep in their own territory. Ball marked at about the 15-yard line. First down, Cougars.
Cougar crowd getting into it once again. The center is Isaiah Klein. He runs out, and a timeout called by Coach Jason Kindred. I believe that is his first timeout of the half. 2 left. 2:48 left to play here in the third quarter. We'll take a short break and be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to the campus of Phoenix Christian. Sandoval with a pitch left for Willis. Willis trying to use his speed to get outside. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Another stoppage, and it'll be an official timeout. And that's not good for the Hawks. That's Gavin Gilbert down. One player you don't want to see down if you're the Hawks is Gavin Gilbert, and he does look to be in a bit of pain. I don't know what injury this could be or caused by. It looks like, and as the PA announcer did just say, it does look like a cramp as Gilbert is getting stretched out. We'll take another short break here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, folks, as you were able to see Gavin Gilbert walk off the field. Gilbert, the main man today on the Hawks offense. Gilbert is a senior, listed at 5'10", 180. Chavez waiting until he is off the field, and now he drops his helmet and he'll sit back down on sidelines. But we're playing football on the field. Sandoval drops back to pass, looking deep. And that pass will be dropped by Dominic Paris. Throw was underneath, and Paris, though, had a chance at it, working on Cody Kalles on the boundary. He had his toes in. He just couldn't find the ball in time. Sandoval gets about 5 more yards on that, and Paris might be high-fiving in the end zone right now. Third and 9. Sweep right. This is Rondon. Rondon trying to cut inside. Does he have enough for the first down? And it looks like he won't, and will be marked short at the 24. They need to get to about the 25.5. And you wonder, down 13 with 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. And out goes Sandoval and Scroggins the second. Kindred liking to use his running back sporadically. Think of it as a running back by committee, a Kyle Shanahan kind of offense, but a wing tee. Sandoval, snap, handoff inside, and it looks like Phoenix Christian was not set, and the call will be false start against the Cougars.
False start is the call on the field. That backs the Cougars.
You see Kindred liking to run out there immediately to the line and get set, but that falls onto the head of Sandoval, making sure everyone is set before everyone is set. That's a quarterback's job, making sure everyone is set and down, and it looks like the Cougars will now punt. Sanchez with the duties. Sanchez's left-footed boot high up in the air. Hawks have no one back there to return, and it will take a Phoenix Christian bounce. And the ball be downed on the Cougar. Excuse me, on the Hawk 48-yard line.
At their own 48-yard line. First down, Hawks.
You got to think sooner rather than later here how down 2 possessions, a stop here would be big for the Cougar defense. Score, visiting Hawks 19 and your Phoenix Christian Cougars 6 with 1:18 left to play in the third quarter. Gilbert is now on the field. It is now Coryell in the backfield in the offset eye. Handoff will go to him, and making a big play for a loss of 2 is Achilles Lopez.
Dropped in the backfield.
Lopez making an amazing play there.
Second down and 12.
Bradshaw under center. 1 receiver far left, 1 far right. In the offset eye that the Hawks have liked to use. Handoff goes to Coryell. Coryell off the left side. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage and will be tackled at the 44-yard line.
Gain of about 8.
They'll mark him actually at the 45.
For the Hawks offense.
I like to call this third down and manageable. It's about 3rd and 3 for those of you counting at home. And it looks like with 10 seconds left, the Hawks are going to let this clock run out. And that'll do it for the third quarter. 3 quarters of football played here at Phoenix Christian. Cougars 6, Hawks 19. 1 quarter left to play, 12 minutes Cougars down 13. A big, big quarter coming up for Coach Kindred and his men in green and white. I should say green jerseys, white pants, specifically. 12 minutes left to go in this game. We will pause for a brief moment. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Phoenix Christian Cougar football right here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Welcome back to Phoenix Christian. Third down, and we'll call it 4. Bradshaw in the offset eye. Gilbert back in at running back, and they'll go to him. Gilbert, does he have enough for the first down? Yes, he does.
It's a close spot.
I think a generous spot in favor of the Cougars there, and it looks like it will be 4th and inches.
Falls mark right at the 32-yard line.
And it is official, 4th and inches coming up here for the Tanque Verde offense.
The Cougar defense held. It's 4th down.
Eli Clausen checking into the game.
A big stand is on its way.
Bradshaw. Clausen, the tight end to the right, offset eye. Gilbert, the running back. McKenna, the fullback. Bradshaw, hands off to McKenna. McKenna up, and he gets it. Out to the 39-yard line of the Cougars, and a key 4th down conversion for the Hawks. A play that, in the opinion of this broadcaster, almost meant nothing. I think it was a poor spot from the referees to begin with. A chance that Phoenix Christian had to turn the tide. Then in motion from left to right is Harrison. Handoff Gilbert to the left, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Showing a good bit of sportsmanship is Scroggins, picking up Garrett Gilbert.
For a negligible gain, maybe 1 yard, 2nd down and 9 for the Hawks.
And it looks like the spot will be no gain on 1st down, bring up 2nd and 10. If you love old school football, this has been the game for you. Not a lot of passing, except for a couple screens. And believe it or not, Phoenix Christian's only touchdown coming off of a pass, but primarily their offense coming on the ground. Single back is Gilbert. Play action pass, and it will be that screen to Harrison. Harrison looking to get upfield. Yes, he does. 30, out near the 25. That will be a 1st down on 2nd and 10.
But not before picking up a Hawks 1st down. 1st and 10, Tanque Verde.
Spot exactly will be on the 26. Ball on the right hash. You wonder, too, when the Cougar defense might not have any left in the tank and the Hawks can just march it down and potentially put this game out of reach. Cougars down 13. McKenna motion from right to left. Handoff Gilbert. Gilbert looking for a hole on the left. He cuts back right. Not going anywhere is Gilbert. He'll maybe get about 2 or 3 depending on the spot. Good job by Gilbert to remain patient.
Achilles Lopez yet again. 2nd down and 7 for the Hawks offense.
Ball will be placed on the 23 of the Cougars. Hawks need, we'll call it the 16.5. Bradshaw breaks the huddle. Offset eye. Coryell in at running back, and he'll get the ball off the right side. And getting there first for the Cougars is Luke Hocking. Aiden Flynn finishing the job off. And that'll be a gain of about 1.
Maybe half a yard. 3rd and 6 for the Hawks offense.
3rd and 6 coming up for the Hawks offense. Crowd getting into it once again. You hear the stomping of sneakers and shoes on the metal bleachers. 3 receivers far side left. Coryell, the running back, and the Hawks draw. Both Hawking and Rondon. And it will be encroachment on the Cougars. A lack of discipline on that one. Makes it 3rd and a very manageable 1 for the Hawks offense. They'll stay the same formation. 3 receivers far side to the left. Clausen, the slot receiver. Handout goes to Coryell. Coryell will not go anywhere. Cougar defense creating a wall. And now that could be a loss of a yard on the play. Getting there first is Brandon Scroggins.
Fantastic defensive play for Achilles Lopez.
And you wonder if this will maybe be another kicking situation for Coryell, or if maybe they'll take the clock down and discuss it further. And it looks like it won't be. McKenna and Gilbert in the backfield on 4th and 2. Offset eye. Bradshaw under center. Takes snap. Handoff Gilbert. Gilbert loses a football, and Cougars recover.
Another fantastic defensive stand by the Cougar defense.
Popping out the ball was Michael Harmon.
Folks, this is some amazing high school defense we're seeing.
And now with 7:07 left to play here in the 4th quarter, the Cougars have life and the ball on the 16-yard line.
First down, Cougars.
You need a touchdown here if you want to get back in this game, if you're the Cougar offense. There should be no other mentality if you are on the line, a running back, if you're ex-Sandoval, that quarterback. You need a touchdown, and timeout called by the Hawks. That'll be their first charge timeout of the half. Hawks and Cougars will discuss what their next plan of action is, and we'll take a break here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back to the campus of Phoenix Christian here in downtown Phoenix. My name is Nicholas Pietrzycki. And with 7:07 left, Cougars force a turnover on 4th and short and have the ball. Sandoval in the wing tee. It'll be a screen and a hook and ladder play, but it looks like it will be called back. Willis was not set. He had his hand in the ground late, and it will be an illegal shift, negating that play of about 15. Willis actually beat me to it. I was going to mention the biggest thing these last 7 minutes for the Cougars that is of the utmost importance. You cannot get penalties. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot. No self-inflicting wounds. Whatever metaphor and phrase you want to use, do not harm yourself trying to put the ball in the end zone. The Cougars, there's still a lot of time left, 7:02 exactly. But in order to come back and do that, the Cougars will need picture-perfect football from here on out. 1st and 15. Ball will be spotted at the 13. Sandoval with 2 fullbacks and a running back behind him. Pitch goes left. Trying to get forward and fight forward for some extra yards is Ransom. That play looks like it'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. And a flag comes in from our back judge, Glenn Bickley. He's been happy with the flags tonight, throwing multiple. Chavez calling Bickley to confirm the call as we await what the call might be. And it'll be another unsportsmanlike conduct on the Hawks.
That penalty is marked off at the end of the play.
And that'll be 15 yards from about the 16. I'll take the Cougars out to the 31. A big breath of fresh air, a lifeline, if you will, for the Cougar offense. And that'll be an automatic first down. 6:48 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Cougars trail by 13. Sandoval in the shotgun, 2 running backs, 1 to his left, 1 to his right. And play will be blown dead. And it'll be a false start on the Cougars.
5-yard penalty, 1st down and 15 for the Cougars.
Another penalty. You've been seeing a lot of those lately, something that Coach Kindred and staff should be their #1 priority heading into this week of practice. Eliminate the penalties. 6:40 and winding down is the clock. Cougars have some plays. Getting 3-4 yards is not a bad play on 1st down, but when you get it negated with a holding call or if you're not set, it could be very costly. Ransom shifts out to the right. Pitch to Willis. Willis cuts inside for a gain. We'll call it 5. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. 6:07 left and counting down. Now this is the downside of running a run-heavy wing tee offense. Clock continues to run. Every time you look at it, it's about 30 seconds off the clock. And you wonder, Kindred is setting up a play-action pass to go to either Paris or maybe to Jerry Abrahamson. That worked successfully in the scrimmage. Ball on the ground. Sandoval looking deep. He fires, and it'll be way over the head of Paris. The closest helmet to that was Rocco Haggard, the safety. And now the clock does stop here on 3rd and 10. And you got to think, with 5:35 left to play in the 4th quarter, this is 4-down territory for the Cougars. It'll be 3rd and a long 10. Looked like Bull now is trying to get the attention of Chavez. Paris shifts out far left. 3 running backs in the wing tee. Pass goes. Paris on a quick slant, and he'll get about 6. 4th, and we'll actually call it 5.
Brings up 4th down and 6 for the Cougar offense.
It's about 4th and 5.
With the clock
So Kindred did agree this is 4-down territory. Sandoval in the wing tee. Everyone in. Timeout called.
By the Cougars.
Sandoval trying to get the Hawk defensive line to jump, and they held their own water. You got to wonder what Coach Kindred is thinking here. And you wonder why we haven't seen that little quick slant from Paris more often. Paris listed on the roster at 6'3", working on a corner that is, I would say, at least about 3-4 inches shorter than him. Has a nice reach and a nice wingspan. You wonder why you don't see that more often out of this Cougar offense. I know Coach Kindred likes to stick to the run and run it down the opposing defense's throats, but sometimes a pass is required in a situation. And I actually agree with the call on 3rd and 10, because now you can run any play you want. Run your best play that will get you 5 yards. A play you know will get you 5 yards in this situation. That's the play that Coach Jason Kindred should be calling right here.
As the timeout comes to a
5:04 left to play here in the 4th quarter, and you got to wonder if this might be the end for the Cougar offense if they don't get it. Hawks have been successful running the ball with Gilbert, Harrison, Blakeman, and Coryell. 2 receivers split out far right, 2 receivers split out far left. Sandoval, play action pass, in trouble, looking to get out of it is Sandoval, and he cannot, and he is brought down back all the way at the 25. A loss of 11 on 4th and 5. And that might just seal the deal here for the Cougars.
The Cougar defense once again called on to dig in its heels and make a stop. Ball marked at about the 25-yard line of the Cougars.
Cougars popped the ball out of the arms of Gavin Gilbert. The Hawks' last drive. Turnover marginal is 0. Both the Hawks and Cougars have forced a turnover in this game. 2 receivers left. Gilbert the back. Chavez blows his whistle, and the clock will run at the snap. Motion from left to right. Handoff to Gilbert, going left, and he will go nowhere. Getting in there is big Achilles Lopez and Michael Herman. Got to say, if you are a defensive fan, the Cougars doing a good job holding the Hawks to 19 points up to this point. The offense just has not been there for Phoenix Christian. They scored on their 2nd drive, and since then have not been back near the red zone, not even near the 30-yard line of the Hawks. 2 receivers split out left. Ike Johnson, the receiver in the slot. Gilbert, the lone running back. Bradshaw will look to the sideline, and it looks like it's actually a delay of game.
That will move them back 5 more yards. 2nd down and 16 for the Hawks.
2nd down and long. Coming up here for the Hawks, precisely 16 yards needed to get. Hawks stay in the same formation. Bradshaw under center. Johnson motions from left to right. Play action, naked bootleg for Bradshaw, and sniffing it out and missing the tackle is Daniel Sanchez. Flag is in the backfield, thrown by Chavez. He'll make the call immediately without conferring, and it'll be a hold against the Hawks.
Holding looks to be the call on the Hawks.
It'll remain second down and now even further for the Hawks offense. Ball spotted in the middle of the field.
The Cougars accept the penalty. It's marked off at the end of the play.
Ball be spotted at the 36-yard line in the middle of the field. Offset eye, Gilbert the back. Ike Johnson now the fullback. And actually, I beg your pardon, ball is now on the 41-yard line. Make that second down and a mile. Bradshaw takes the snap, handoff right to Gilbert, and he is absolutely swarmed by Brandon Scroggins.
Run off the right side, stifled very quickly by the Cougars, Jadian Willis. Gain of 1, 3rd and long for the Hawks offense.
Checking out for the Cougars is Big Achilles Lopez. 3rd and a long ways. Hawks needing to get to the 16. 3 receivers split out left. Closest to us is DeLon Harrison. Bradshaw under center, takes a snap, gives it Gilbert left side, trying to bounce outside. He'll try to hurdle a tackle, and finishing off the play is Daniel Sanchez. Sanchez done a phenomenal job in place of Cyrus Rentera, who will not be able to play until Phoenix Christian's next home game, just 4 games away. 4th down and a mile. Hawks will let the clock run before punting it. 2:15 and counting down very fast for the Cougars.
With about 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Hawks using all the time in the world. Clock's now officially under 2 minutes. Again, no 2-minute warning in high school. Coryell the punter. Snap is low, and Coryell bobbles it, and he gets the punt away somehow. And Willis will actually pick it up and gain some extra yards. Flag down. It looked like Ike Johnson got a little too much of Willis's face mask. We'll see what the call is here as the officials confer. Let's see the call. 1:40 left to play in the 4th quarter. Cougars trail by 13. The game is still within reach, but quickly fading away, and it will indeed be a face mask on Ike Johnson.
That's marked off at the end of the return.
And it was a wise decision for Willis to pick up that punt. A risky move with Johnson in his face, but the risk pays off. And now, if you're Coach Kindred, you need to take more risk getting back into this game with under 2 minutes to go. Two receivers split out near side right, one far side left. Sandoval gets the snap, looks right, still looking right, caught by Paris. Paris will try to make a move, and he does, gets a field, cutting in left, now cutting outside. Paris still going all the way down to the 46-yard line. 1:29 while the chain gang moves. Coach Kindred needs to think about using a hurry-up offense here to conserve timeouts potentially. Once the chains do get set, clock will run. Actually, I do beg my pardon. Once the ball's spotted, now the clock goes. 127, 126, 125. Sandoval in the shotgun. Two receivers right and left. Snap back. Sandoval looks to his right. Throwing deep, trying to find Paris once again. Paris! And a face full of jersey. And the Cougar crowd can't believe it. And I'm also in a little bit of disbelief. That was Kason White working on Paris. And absolutely no call by the official. The Cougar sideline jumping up and down, trying to get a call, but back judge Glenn Bickley says no. I think Bickley would argue that Paris was also in there, and it was an even ball, maybe uncatchable, you could argue. Two receivers out, far near side right, far side left. Sandoval looks right, will now look left, throwing over the middle of the field, almost. Picked off by Bradshaw, who's playing free safety now on defense, trying to conserve this 13-point lead with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining here. 3rd and 10, very clearly 4th down territory for the Cougar offense. Sandoval gets his instructions from Kindred. Tanque Verde will stick with one high safety. At one safety, Bradshaw. Snap back. Sandoval looking middle, and that one is picked off by Bradshaw. Bradshaw looking to return it. Big hit by Israel Torres, but that will surely do it here with 59 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Not quite sure where Sandoval was looking. He almost threw it right to Bradshaw. And, well, after almost getting an interception a play earlier, Bradshaw gets his interception. And that will surely do it. Maybe one more first down is needed for the Hawks. I do believe Kindred and company have 2 timeouts that would allow them to potentially get the ball back with about 9 seconds. Hawks, offset eye, Gilbert the running back. Handoff left Gilbert, and he is swarmed immediately by the Cougars.
Hand the ball off, but he's met at the line of scrimmage by the Cougars, number 9.
Kindred not calling any timeouts, 45 seconds and counting down.
By number 29, Aiden Flynn.
You got to think, maybe is he conserving his 2 timeouts for after this play? And then to stop the clock on 4th down so they can't run out the clock maybe with some shenanigans. 24 seconds, counting down. Cougars' hopes fading with every tick of the green scoreboard. 15 seconds, 14, 13, now 12. Bradshaw. Now 5 seconds. This looks to be the last play of the game as Gilbert will run it to about the 38. And that will do it here from Phoenix Christian. Final score in downtown Phoenix, Arizona off of Indian School. Your Phoenix Christian Cougars 6 and the visiting Tanque Verde Hawks 19. Cougars start off the year 0-1. Tanque Verde improves to 1-0 on the year. And that will do it here. Cougars, next game a week from tonight at Shadow Mountain. That game will be at 7. And we will have that game for you live right here, same time, same place, on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube. That Shadow Mountain game starts a 4-game road skid for the Cougars, starting with the game next week at Shadow Mountain. Then the Cougars will travel to Sequoia Pathway to take on the Pumas. And going to Glendale, take on Glendale Prep. And then last but not least, finishing out the year, not finishing out the year, I beg your pardon, finishing out the 4-game homestand on the road at Highland Prep. The Cougars' next home game is indeed September 29th. We will see you next week here on the Phoenix Christian Football YouTube, but from this location, we will not see you for a little more than a month. Folks, my name has been Nicholas Pietrzycki. It is my honor and privilege to be taking you through this journey of football for 48 minutes and then some. I look forward to when we meet again. And for those of you still listening from here in Phoenix, in Cleveland, and wherever else you might be listening to, Columbus as well, please have a great night. If you're driving home, please drive safe. And always make sure you tell a loved one that you love them. Thank you, folks, and have a great night. We'll see you next week.